Now let's talk about modularity in OWL knowledge bases. Modularity is important because it enables reuse. By modularizing a knowledge base, I may be able to use parts of it in many different applications. It also makes the knowledge bases more manageable because they're not one monolithic whole that I have to deal with. I can deal with them in manageable pieces. And OWL supports a hierarchy of K-base modules using the OWL imports property. So let's look at this example. Suppose I define a class. I'm going to give it the alias M1. I define a single class init living thing. And let's suppose that I import M1 into a model M2. Then I can say, for example, mammal is a type of living thing. And notice I've referenced living thing, which was a concept that was imported. Furthermore, I can import M2 into M3. And in M3, I could say things like dog, cat are types of mammal. And mammal is a known concept because I've imported M2 where it is defined. And likewise, I could import M3 into model M4, and then I can say things like Spot is a dog, and dog is known. Felix is a cat, cat is known. And I can say Angel Oak is a living thing, and living thing was way up here in M1. So in other words, all of the concepts known to an imported model are known to the importing model. So in other words, OWL imports is transitive. If M4 imports M3, and M3 imports M2, and M2 imports M1, then it is as if M4 imports not just M3, but also M2 and M1. Let's do a modularity exercise. So take your genealogy model that you created in the last exercise and create an instance data model which imports this genealogy model. Create a new model which imports the genealogy model, and then add instances of each of the classes in the metamodel and relate them using metamodel properties to create some kind of a meaningful knowledge graph. This exercise is to create some instance data that fits our genealogy metamodel. So we'll create a new file, and we're going to call this the Adams family. So we're going to create our URI, and now we're going to import. And we're going to pick our genealogy model as a thing to import. Now I can move this over in Eclipse and put them side by side if I want to, which will allow me to look at the metamodel while I'm creating my instance data model. We'll start out by creating an instance named John Adams. And we might as well stick in his name with a space in it, so the human readable one that you would probably use. And he is a person. We'll add some more information here. We'll say that he has gender male, that he has a date of birth of and if I ask for content assist inside of here, it will tell me what's at least one acceptable date. There are a whole bunch of date formats that work, but I could write this as month, month, day, day, year, year. So the month would be the 10th month. That would be October. The day would be the 30th, and the year would be 1735. And we can add that he has a parent who is, and I can put right in line, a man, John Adams Sr. And I could say alias John Adams Sr. And he also has a parent, a woman whose name is Susanna Boylston. And he has a spouse who is a woman, Abigail Smith, alias Abigail Smith. And I can put in more than one alias. Sometimes she's referred to as Abigail Smith, and especially before she was married. She's also referred to as Abigail Adams, and they are in fact the same person. So I can have multiple aliases. And let's see here. And then finally we have, let's see, I actually want to give some more information to Abigail. I want to put in that Abigail Smith has a date of birth that is the 22nd of November, 1744. And then that will finish up my, you can see parenthesis matching here. So this closed paren closes this one. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but if you put your cursor after that one, it will highlight the one that it closes. So that's in good shape. That's what I wanted. And so when we give that a end of statement, everything should be great. I am furthermore going to create a birth as baby Abigail Smith. It has location, and I can say in line, a location with description, Weymouth, Massachusetts. That's the end of the location. And has a mother, which is a woman, Elizabeth Quincy. And that gives us that block of information. I can create another birth. And this is going to be the birth of baby John Adams. As location, a location with description, Braintree. MA. And you can, but you don't need to have a comma. And has mother, Susanna Boylston. I could add some additional information just to flesh things out. That John Adams Sr. has spouse, Susanna Boylston. All right. I got an extra T in there because I expect that to be already defined. And that Elizabeth Quincy has spouse, and we don't have her husband in here yet, so that's a man William Smith. And that John Quincy Adams is a man, and he has a parent who is John Adams and a parent who is Abigail Smith. And he also has a date of birth, which is July 11th, 1767. So that gives us a bunch of instance data, and we're going to call that good for the moment.